Hi. Today I'm just gonna talk about what I learned today. So, the currently what I'm trying to do is I'm implementing the issue making bot. So, what do I mean by that? If you have some kind of experience of like working in a big tech company, they utilize the Slack messaging app as some kind of tool to improve some kind of developer experience. What my ex company did was they made the channels for the issue, and in that channel, when you're trying to write some kind of issue, make or those kind of thing, it will automatically making issue for you, and it will just gonna give you a ticket number of that issue. Example, your team name and like 101, 123. So those kind of thing. So what you have to do is use this kind of ticket number as a branch number, and that is really great because you don't have to think about some kind of how to name the branch and how to name the PRs and those kind of it. So that is kind of structuring the system of it, and I think that is really good because I have experience of like making some kind of not making just making some kind of making some kind of big service, but without relying on the Slack application or Slack bot. So I had to manually make the issue and think about the issue number of it and those kind of thing, and that was very tedious for me. That was really bored, and that really made me frustrated. And now I'm trying to make the Slack bot, but which also needs some kind of server of it. I'm using Express TS for the server because I'm a front end engineer and I already have no idea what kind of like heavy backend framework gonna be. So I'm just gonna use it to Express because that's really lightweight and that is kind of easy to implement. So if you look at code of here, example, oh, there's some kind of like bolt of it. So bolt is just kind of like kind of framework, not framework library for the handling some kind of Slack bot. So and and the typical, if you look at the how express how to write the some kind of function in the express or some kind of logic in the express, they just use some kind of function rather than rely on the class. And the reason I don't like some kind of like function based um, um, backend is because this is actually server. I'm a front end engineer, and it will be some kind of handled by somehow a server engineer rather than front end engineer, and that has to be my code style has to be like server or backend friendly rather than front end friendly. Like if you look at how front end code looks like, the what I believe of core of the front end um, code is make it make it simple as possible. The even function is really great, but class is kind of be little too far if there's so many business, if there's so many like um even though if there's so many business logic, the class is too far because I mean it's already, you can use React hook for it rather than making a class of it because React hook is really easy to implement, and there's that is integrated with the React API, and that's really great. So to recap, I'm just gonna make it like server friendly code, like using class name like OOP, those kind of thing. And if you look at here, so I can use some kind of Axios library rather than just making some kind of like my own custom fetch. But the reason why I don't use some kind of Axios is that my this kind of application, this kind of server has to be handled by backend engineer somehow, and backend engineer doesn't know access of it, and also there's no necessary to install Axios because we're just gonna use this function. We're just gonna fetch for the minimal amount of it, like GitHub fetch or it. So what? So I just make some kind of server fetch class, and we're just gonna get base address, base URL, and headers. Of course, I'm just gonna delete this. And And if you look here, it's gonna get, so wrapper is just like is the one who doing the fast thing. So get is the it's just like the core thing is on the wrapper. Wrapper is the one who calls the API, but the get and post or this kind of method is the one who trying to utilize the wrapper of it. And that's great. And also the implementation of this kind of server fetch is, if you look at the GitHub fetch, like GitHub service, put some kind of tokens in the constructor as a private, because and utilize this kind of server fetch on via extends about it. It's just gonna inheritance. It's just gonna inherit of it and get metadata. We're just gonna use the server fetch based method like get of it. And after that, and that's really simple. If you look at code of it, it is really easy to read because everything, the get or process, everything is handled by the server fetch, and the GitHub server is just the has to utilize the get, but make it as some kind of like some kind of API calls on it. So the GitHub server is just the some kind of module, some kind of logic, or some kind of object that utilizes server fetch, but basically just doing the using the API about the GitHub. So it's just like, and this kind of the API calls is provided by method. And after more about this, I'm just gonna implement this on the GitHub service on the my event on it. So if you look at the how the Slack bot works, you just have to write some kind of syntax that we define, like issue making syntax of it, like example slash issue make, all those kind of thing. And that has to be event. That is really event, so we don't have to like care about, like we don't have to really like care about some kind of like load, like massive API calls of it, because I mean like our workers is only doing it, so we don't have to care about some kind of load balancing or casting. Of course, casting is gonna be really good, but I don't think that's really necessary in this time. So I almost make some kind of big logic on it. I almost like even class thing is already make some kind of create board instance of it. Make it like just like class of it. And so I think this is it. So my purpose of this kind of thing is just make implementing on my own language. The reason why I can only do this because I only in three, we have 3 people in one team, and that means that we have a lack of resource, and also I only have experience of using this Slackbot API, and which is really great for me. So I wanna like introduce this kind of feature to my team to enhance the developer experience. So this is it. Have a nice day. See you next time. Bye bye.